lucky for you guys at the club. How does it feel to technically be the first AFLW dynasty?
Clearly, yeah, to win today was massive, obviously, for this group. But the reality of getting that third premiership in a pretty short space of time does sort of sets a little benchmark there and cements the legacy of those that have come before us, I think. So that's a really nice piece of today. Absolutely.
How about for you, Hatchie? You've been part of a really successful team. You've evolved since the first season and kind of played different roles. How have you seen your role this year as different to others?
Yeah, so started off back in defence and then got a bit fitter, and then Doc trusted me through the mid. So it's been awesome to be able to run around in there, and just to come away with the win is just over the moon.
It's not the first time you've done it. Does it feel like it's any different?
Oh, each time it's the best feeling you can get. After last year's heartbreak, to be able to come back here and play our Crows footy and get the win, just got no words. It's just amazing.
How did you see the game strategically in terms of your defence pushing up, but then obviously Melbourne won back with that territory in the second half? How did you kind of structure that?
Yeah, so they got a bit of a run at us there. They essentially pushed an extra forward into the stoppage, and then at other times they had Daisy going behind the ball, which gave them extra numbers at the source there. And we probably were just a little bit slow to rebalance those numbers and to squeeze back up the ground to even the contest. So, yeah, they used the ball well, and then they got it obviously into their forward line and were able to press the game. So that was the period of the game where obviously they held a bit of control and we lost our way. I thought their first half was outstanding, and we probably left a couple out there where we could have perhaps stretched that gap a little more. So, but in the end, credit to Melbourne. Like, I just had a quick look at the stats, and they probably won a good percentage of the statistical categories. So they certainly came to play, and it was, I think, hopefully for those watching, it was a high standard contest.
Centre clearances haven't necessarily been your strong suit this year, but in the past couple of games you have kind of built that up. Has that been a focus for finals to get that back on your terms?
Yeah, we simplified things a little. We were trying a few different variations early in the season, and we were having mixed results. So over the last month, I reckon we just simplified the model and just tried to get it back to a contest. And I think we probably haven't won, clearly that category, but we've always broken even over the last month. So that's been an important shift.
Emotion in the room, can you sum it up?
Well, she's a pretty solid party going on in there at the moment.
Oh yeah, it is.
No, it was great. It was amazing, and we had the players, we had the support staff, then we had a lot of past players in the room, and then we had a lot of the families in the room. And after a year where we haven't been able to be close and around people, particularly the families, it was just great to have everybody there. And yes, we'll probably all have COVID next week, but it kind of doesn't matter anymore. So no, it was great. There's a lot of emotion and a lot of enjoyment. So, and I've witnessed these girls after winning a flag a couple of years ago. This could go on for a while.
You spoke quite a bit during the week about how you weren't going to use last year, or you hadn't used last year's as a motivation, but obviously to be on the other side of it now.
It's a reasonable contrast, yeah. Yes. I don't know. I don't think I used it during the year. Did I?
No, not really.
I don't think so, no. So kind of we sort of dealt with it in the aftermath, and we tried to take away some things that we could do better, clearly. And then, you just got to move on, don't you? You got to, it's a new year and a slightly new group, so you don't get to go back.
Fitting in a way that just as Melbourne looked like making one of their last thrusts, Chelsea Randall just sails in and takes a nice intercept mark. Can you, I guess, talk about her influence having not been there this day last year and being there today?
You have a go at that one, Hatch?
Yeah, it's massive having Chelsea out there. Just her presence on the field is just amazing, and she's solid back there, and she's our captain too. So, last year was heartbreaking not having her out there, and it was super exciting to see her out there for the grand final this year.
Erin spoke very passionately on the post-game about her pride at being a Crow. Do you have a sense of what's next for her?
I've got no idea. But I mean, we're really proud of her. We're unbelievably proud of her. She's You know, in those formative years, you know, the early couple of years, Erin and Chelsea, you know, they drove the culture and the standards, and they taught them how to be professional and how to be good. And so, when we talk about cementing the legacy, it's, you know, in a large part it's her legacy and Chelsea's as well, obviously. But so no, we're amazingly proud of her, and you know, we'll see what happens over the next little while. I'm sure you'll get to write lots of column inches on it, which will be great.
Will you sit down with her at some point, or just give her some space for a while?
Well, I don't know. I imagine that in the near future there'll be announcements around when the season's going to be, and then when the sign and trade periods and so forth are going to be. And yeah, once we get that information to hand, then yeah, we'll probably have to get our skates on and start speaking to all of our players, and we'll probably just give it a day or two, I reckon.
How big a challenge will that be? You've mentioned that the season, obviously you want to keep this group together. How big a challenge is that going to be with expansion?
Yeah, I think I'm looking forward to expansion, to be honest. We want to keep our group together, clearly. You know, it's so much fun. There's such a good group of people to be involved with. But I've said a few times that, you know, over the last how many years I've been doing it, each year there's probably been 3 or 4 or sometimes 5 young South Australian players that we've had to say, no, we don't have a spot for you on our list. And a number of them have gone interstate, but for some that just doesn't work. So from here on forward, you know, that'll be less of a problem. A lot more young players will be able to get an opportunity to play out there. So for me, that's great. That's going to be amazing. Yeah, we want to keep our team together. We want to keep winning. We love it. But I'm also looking forward to having a crosstown rival. I think that's going to add something and add a bit of spice.
Obviously heartbreaking not to have Montana McCann out there, but Jazz Stewart came in and played a pretty significant role for you. How did you see her again?
You go.
Yeah, her coming out and kicking that goal, it's just a credit to her. You know, Montana's had such a good year, and it was heartbreaking to see her not play, but Jazzy came in and played a role, and you know, ultimately that helped us get over the line today.
Well, she missed out in the 2019.
She did. Yeah, she missed the entire season in 2019. Had a bad ankle in the pre-season game, and so she was there with us that day, but obviously watching from the sidelines. And yeah, it's a great story if you dig into that one. It's you know, she went to the Gold Coast, and then she sort of, you know, kind of a little bit disillusioned with it. Went back up to Darwin, started playing up there again, and you know, enjoyed it. Got the joy, you know, found the joy of the game again. And then I think she ran into Chelsea, or someone ran into Chelsea.
Yeah.
And or maybe a friend of Chelsea's. They connected, and she said, "Oh, do you think you know, if I wanted to try out again, you know, there might be an opportunity?" And so Chelsea got that back to us, and we said yes. Because yeah, we were sad to lose her initially, so it was great to have her back.
Out of interest, was there a moment where you realised you had won? Was it the Ponte goal? Was it after that?
Well, I don't know. What about you, Hatch? Did you feel like you had?
Out on the field, I felt like we were in control of the game. And then when that last goal was sealed, I felt pretty confident going into the rest of the game.
Yeah, it's got a bit of a thing for grand final, stepping up on the grand final, kicking big goals.
Yeah, it was.
The ice in her veins.
Yeah, she was pretty important to us, and you know, it's all a bit of a blur, to be honest. But you know, when the one where she kicked it forward and then chased it, and that was a pretty special moment as well. So she had an outstanding day, and obviously Anne's performance. You know, I thought particularly in the first half just set the game up for us. You know, as I said, I think we could have maybe, you know, stretched that gap off the back of some of the performances of Anne. But yeah, lots of really good contributors today.
What does it mean to you?
Yeah, this medal means a lot. It's all the hard work that the team's put together to get here, and to have a third one of these is just, it blows my mind. Starting out footy, I never thought that I'd be sitting here after 6 years with 3 medals. So it's just insane, and it's a credit to our group. We've just worked so hard together, and yeah, can't wait to celebrate with the girls.
Sorry, I actually meant your best on ground.
Oh, okay, yeah, that was insane. Yeah, to come out and snag that medal, I wouldn't be getting that medal without the girls. You know, they've all pushed me so hard, especially Ebony Marinoff, having her in the mids. It opens up the game for both of us, having 2 strong midfielders. So, yeah, I wouldn't be standing up there with that medal without the team.